Hello, everybody. My name is Connor, and this is my review of 8th grade. First of all, I'm making this video. If you've seen the movie, I'm making the video the same way she does it in the movie when she makes her videos. It always starts with the same bum 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 that we're so familiar with from Photo Booth, and that's why I instantly recognized it in the movie. I thought about sort of doing a similar thing where I try to put a background and try to make it like the movie, because I really did like this movie, as I'll say in a second, and try to do like a gimmick like that. But the truth is, I don't want you to see my face yet. No, I'm not like horrifically ugly, I don't think, but I'm waiting until I get a decent amount of subscribers before I do like a big face reveal, and I got 22 subscribers, so I'm doing all right for myself. I don't know if I should do more live streams, or I'm not gonna do from pixels to pictures for a while. That's sort of gotten away from me. There's a lot of other things going on in my life right now. I'm trying to balance it. But in the meantime, I do have, I think, quite a few videos are going to be coming up on this channel pretty soon of different topics. I'm just trying to figure out what the audience likes. Back to 8th grade. Yeah, so this was a movie I saw. It was either this or BlacKkKlansman, and I'm going to see that one soon. But this I saw with my mom. So just quick recap, I'm not familiar with Bo Burnham's work outside of this movie. I'm aware he's a very popular YouTuber. I have not seen too much of him, but good for you, showing that making YouTube videos can pay off and you can make movies. So good to know. For me, it does get better. I'm not really kidding, but oh no, I'm offending so many of my audience right now. Okay, so 8th grade. So this is a movie. It's a movie similar to Lady Bird or The Florida Project, in that it's a movie that doesn't really have much of a plot, and I don't usually get into those too much. It was one of my big issues with Lady Bird. But this movie I really enjoyed, and I feel a lot of it was the way it was directed. It didn't feel like it was trying to be artsy. Well, it kind of was, but more than anything, this was a movie about capturing a feeling. It was about being a faithful representation of that feeling of being in 8th grade, and even I think a lot of high schoolers or beyond will probably recognize a lot of things in this movie. I mean, a lot of people will be like, I've never been a girl in 8th grade, I'm not going to relate to this. But there is a lot in this movie to be related to. I saw this with my mom, and it goes to show how much the generations are changing. Because at one point my mom was like, why are they doing like a drill for a school shooter in school? Like, that they never did that in my school. And I'm like, well, they did it in mine. Like, there's a lot of things in this movie I was like, okay, I did that. I think many different people will take something different out of this movie, as it should be. Different people will take different expectations. What I found to be most appealing is how they conveyed this sense of isolation, of wanting to put yourself out there in the world, but being afraid. I feel there's very much a sense that, and what I liked about this movie more than anything was how real it felt. And it all goes back to Elsie Fisher, who is best known as being the voice of Agnes in the Despicable Me movies. And Elsie Fisher, this is a really, really good performance. And I don't know how Best Actress is going to shape up this year, but I would think she would be a worthy nominee for Best Actress. It's not a super flashy performance, like it's not a performance where she gets a lot of big acting scenes, but it's not really supposed to be that. It's a very lived-in performance. Like, you totally buy the character as presented. There are moments in this movie where it almost feels like you're watching a documentary. Like that's how real it feels. And Elsie Fisher, it's a completely believable performance at every step of the way. I also want to give a shout out to Josh Hamilton, who played her father. This is a great supporting role. Anytime he had a scene, it was also a very, very realistic scene. We don't know too much about him as a character because the movie was focused on his daughter, but it felt very, very believable to me. And a lot of people are saying, "Oh, well, I don't want to see this movie because I didn't like Eighth Grade," and that's a valid argument. It's not always the most comfortable movie to watch. It does go to uncomfortable places. It's not like super super hard to watch. It's not. Don't think you're gonna get like 12 Years a Slave or First They Killed My Father or something like really dark and hard to watch. This is sort of this awkward uncomfortableness that we all recognize from adolescence, and it just surrounds you with the awkwardness. I'm so sorry. I'm dropping things in the background. Just to submit in the awkwardness, because that's what it is. It's about just all the little awkward moments in life, and that's with these slice of life movies. And it is a small slice of life. It's like an hour and 33 minutes, which is good. I always have a tendency towards movies with a shorter runtime because they know what they have to do. They get it in. They get it out of the way. Even if you don't like the movie, you're like, well, it was mercifully short. And this was a good movie. It didn't really overstay its welcome. It was just a really nice film to watch. So I think at this point I've said pretty much all I need to say. It does get a little bit awkward. There is a slight. I don't want to give anything away from the movie. It can occasionally get a little bit uncomfortable, but it does put yourself out there. It does sort of submit you into this world of just awkward adolescence, and it is an awkward time, and it is awkward to try and go through it. But there's sort of an underlying beauty of it all, and that you only go through this time in your life once, and some would say thank God for that. But okay, what really got me in this movie is there was a scene near the end of the film between where they're outside in a fire, and it's a scene between Elsie Fisher and her father, and this scene spoke to me in a very very personal level, and I was audibly crying in the theater, and yeah, my mom was holding me and all that. It's a scene that I think a lot of people are going to relate to, and it cements it. If this movie ends up becoming a Best Picture nominee, I would not complain. I think this is a very good movie. I think it would be worthy of being a Best Picture nominee. I also think it would be worthy of being a serious contender in Best Original Screenplay, so keep an eye out for that. In short, this is a very, very good movie, and I was moved by it, and I know I would watch it again. I definitely give this a high recommendation to anyone who is at all interested. It might not seem like the kind of movie that's going to be for everyone, but I think a lot of people are going to find something to relate to in this movie. So take that for what it's worth. Eighth Grade. It's a very good film, kind of awkward at times, but at the end you'll probably be glad you saw it. So that's my review. Bye. And for those of you who've seen the film, Gucci.